No. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Contestants.
Yeah. In the last class, actually, I told you two methods are there to find the two methods to find the impedance. Okay. So for the differential multi-stage amplifiers, using the small signal inputs. So whenever we have a small signal inputs, in the sense, in the last class, I told you the first one is large signal method. The large signal method is nothing but what? The signal variation is longer. Suppose the input signals, either V in 1 or V in 2, or both, of course, they are varying from 0 to VDD or VDD to 0. That is the large signal variation. When it comes to the small signal variation means in the sense your input value, either V in 1 or V in 2, is changed by only a delta amount of voltage, very small voltage change. Okay. So whenever you are going to find the variation, what is the variation of the voltage at the output for the small signal variation of the inputs? I think it is not so easy as the large signal variation. For that, I told you we have two methods. One is superposition theorem, and one more is I kept to discuss today. Okay, so in the superposition theorem, what I did, so whatever the basic equation I have taken, what is the basic circuit I have taken, like differential pair amplifier with the tail current source. Okay, so first, as the concept of superposition theorem, we have two inputs. Each time consider only one input and find the response at both the outputs. Vx is one output, you can say. Vy is the another output, you can say. Understand? So find the response at x and y nodes due to only one input. We have two inputs. What is that one? V in 1 and V in 2. Make or set V in 2 is 0 and apply the V in 1 and find the voltage Vx and Vy. This is case 1. In the case 2, okay, so whenever in the case 1, so input is what? V in 1, V in 2 completely 0. And what is the output? Vx and Vy. Find the difference between the Vx and Vy. Then find the, what is the one? Gain. Gain is what? Output voltage by input voltage. What is the output voltage? Vx minus Vy. What is input voltage? V in 1. The ratio of Vx minus Vy by V in 1. That you have to find first. That is the case 1. Clear? Huh? So in the case 2, what is that one? So already you consider the source 1 and made the source to 0. In the case 2, set V in 1 is 0, consider the V in 2 and find the again the response at X and Y nodes. X and Y nodes. Here, after finding the X and Vy, find the difference between the Vx and Vy. Then take the ratio of Vx minus Vy by V in 2 is the second one. Lastly, what is the one? What is the superposition theorem? Any linear bilateral network contains number of sources and impedances. Okay, consider each source at a time and replace the other sources with their internal impedances. And finally, the response to the all the sources is nothing but the sum of the responses to the individual sources. As per the definition. So already in the case 1, you find the response to the V in 1. In case 2, you find the response to the V in 2. Now I want the response due to the both the sources, V in and V in 2. So whatever the responses you got in the two cases, you can add now. Then again you can take the what is it one? So ratio of Vx minus Vy by what is that one? This V in 1, V in 2. That is the final one. So once we go like that, the finally whatever the equation I got, we got. So already we derive that one. What is that one? Vx minus Vy total. I'll write here. So Vx. Yeah. So Vx minus Vy total. This is the output, of course. By what is the input? Of course, V in minus V in 1 minus so V in 2 is equal to, we got minus Gm into RD. Minus Gm into RD. Okay. So what is the minus Gm into RD? This is the basic CS amplifier gain. What is the basic CS amplifier gain? Gm into R minus Gm into R. Because CS itself is an inverting amplifier. CS itself is an inverting amplifier. Am I correct or not? So if you apply positive signal at the gate, you will get the negative at the output. It will be reversed. So finally the gain is equal to, you got, so this is the equation. This equation. After so many iterations or so many calculations, you got, so Vx minus Vy total is by, so V in 1 minus V in 2 is equal to minus Gm into Rd. Of course, we are happy with that equation. The gain equation is look like the CS amplifier gain equation. So this is the case 1. So this is the method 1. What is the method 1? Superposition theorem. What is the method 1? Superposition theorem. So now I am going to the method 2. What is the method 2 I want to discuss? Before that, do you have any doubt in the method 1?
No, sir.
Your side voice is breaking.
నా దగ్గర no, sir.
Okay, if it's okay, no problem for me. So I will switch over to method 2. So in the method 2, what we are going to do? Okay, in the method 2, what we are going to do? Okay. This is the half circuit method. Half circuit method. Generally, this method is most widely used. Okay. If you are fully symmetric differential pair, which means differential inputs, generally, so symmetrical differential pair means the changes at the two inputs will be happen same. Whatever the changes happened at V in 1, the same thing will be happened at the V input. That is called the symmetrical differential pair. Of course, differential pair is different, and symmetrical differential pair is nothing but this. The changes because in the symmetrical differential pair, what we are thinking, so V out 1 is equal to V out 2 at one condition. At one condition. So that's why V in 1 minus V in 2 is equal to 0. Okay. If a fully symmetric differential pair senses differential inputs, that is, the two inputs changes by equal and opposite amounts from the equilibrium condition, then the concept of half circuit can be applied. What do you say? If a fully symmetric differential pair sense differential input means the two inputs change by equal and opposite amounts from the equilibrium condition. The two should be changed equal and opposite. For example, at V in 1, suppose the change of voltage is plus 5 millivolts. At the V in 2, it should be a minus 5 millivolts. The change from the, what is the value you have? Suppose V in 1, okay, V in 1 plus delta, maybe delta V. V in 2 minus delta V. So delta V is both same. In each case is delta V. So V in 1 plus delta V. So V in 2 minus delta V. Here the amount of the change is same, but opposite. Am I correct? One is plus delta V, one more is minus delta V. Got the point? Yes. So now, according to this lemma, consider the symmetrical circuit shown in the figure. This is my circuit. This is my symmetrical circuit. Here D1 is one device and D2 is one more device. Of course, both should be any active device which is having the three terminals. Any active device which is having three terminals. Can you name two active devices having the three terminals? Of course, one is MOSFET, one more is BSET. So both are the active devices. Okay, so both are the active devices and having three terminals. You can assume that in this circuit, this is my basic circuit. So if you take this one, you know about this V in 1 is the input and V in 2 is the another input and IT is the what? So tail current source. IT is the tail current source and D1 and D2 are the two devices, two active devices. Okay. So each device carries the current of, or each branch carries the current of I1 and I2. I1 and I2. This is. Okay. So now, of course, V in 1 and V in 2 changes differently. For example, differently means voltage that the two inputs should be same and opposite. That is our condition earlier. Now I am talking, suppose both the inputs changes differently. The former from V0 to V0 plus delta V in V0, not V0, V0. V0 is the initial or equilibrium voltage value. So definitely the two input signals should be having some value. I don't know the value. I can say the value is V0. V0 is the initial voltage. V0, of course, is the initial voltage. So from that value, how much this is changing? How much this is changing? Let us say at V in 1, so initial voltage is V0 and the change in voltage is V0 plus delta V. Okay. So and this is the value from another latter from V0 to V0 minus delta V. So up, down. Then if the circuit remains linear, Vp does not change. the circuit is remains linear. Got my point or not? So underline these two conditions. Suppose V in and V2 changes differently from the former means V in 1 changes from V0 to this value, and the latter means this one V into changes from this value. So here is the plus delta V in and here is the minus delta V. Okay. So as shown the picture. Then if the circuit remains linear, Vp does not change. What do you mean by linear? As I told you, if both are linear, the circuit is linear. The Vp value is 0. The Vp value 0 means no change because the values are same. The values are same. So I can show the circuit. This is the initial voltage value, both V in and V into, V in 1 and V in 2. From this, one is changing like this, another one is changing like this. So the change is, this one is delta V in, this is the delta V in, both are same. One is in one direction, one more is in another direction. Okay, I am talking about this one. What is that one? Suppose V in 1 changes differently. So differentially, not differently, sorry. Differentially means this is the differential. One is positive side, one is negative. Because this condition already I told you in the earlier. So both the fingers should be same and opposite. Okay, sorry, this is the, I read differently. This is differentially means both will be what? One is positive side, one more is negative side. So that's why. Suppose
Sir, where we are taking the output.
I can take this one. This is the X. This is the Y. You can collect this output. Same circuit. I did not change any circuit. The same circuit I took, but I want to do the proof for the generalized circuit. The same. This is one. You can find the resistor. You can find the resistor. You can join VDD, and here is one V output one, and here is V output. You can collect the same circuit. No? There is no change. The basic differential pair circuit is same. Okay. Hello.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir,
I think only what things are very important that I am showing here. That's it. So this is my input one.
So
It is.
Here we are taking two outputs.
Your voice is not good. Hello?
We are taking two outputs, sir, single outputs, sir.
Yeah, definitely. The differential pair means two inputs, two outputs, two inputs. Okay.
Two outputs.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely two outputs, differentially two inputs and two outputs. Okay. So this is the V in 1. I can say this V, that is V0. The equivalent value is V0. Okay. Plus how much changing is V in 1, V0 2. V0 plus something, that is V0 plus delta. This is called the delta V. So V. At this point, initial voltage is V0, negative side. So that minus, so this one to V0 minus delta V. These are the changes of voltages at the two sources. See, V0 is the equilibrium voltage. Okay, or you can say reference voltage. From this, for this added some value, for this subtracted the same value. This is called the differential inputs. So why I am stressing this point for these 2 points means this is very important. I hope you understand. So this is the, from this graph or from this picture you can understand that V0 is the, or V0 is the what? Equilibrium voltage at the both the sides. Generally what we call it as common mode voltage. Exactly, you are right. Common mode voltage. So one is like this going, this is the, and another one is going like this. So it is varying from this reference voltage. This is. So this I can say. So VCM or VNCM, whatever it may be. Common mode voltage. Yes. Okay. So now, okay. So in this case, this is the what? Node P. The voltage of this node P is VP. As long as both are same, okay, what happened? This VP is equal to 0. Means doesn't change. It doesn't move. Okay, so now the lemma can be proved by invoking symmetry. Okay, as long as the operation remains linear, so that the difference between the bias currents which is flowing, that is I1 and I2 are called the biasing currents, which are flowing to the D1 and D2 or left and right branches, is negligible. As long as this VP does not change, whatever the currents are flowing in this one can be negligible. Means VP does not change, means both are working in linear condition. Okay, so the branches are linear. Okay, so thus VP cannot be power the change at one input and ignore the other. Generally, VP will be, you can find the change at the voltage at the VP or at the P, node P, you can find at, so either the two devices are equally operating. Now both are equally operating. Both are equal because both the inputs are same you are applying. Whatever the changes are change also same. So that both are linear. So that until unless the inputs changes are same, the devices, whatever the bias currents are flowing are negligible. Therefore, the voltage at VP does not change. These are the conditions. Okay. So from another point of view, the effect of D1 and D2 at the node P can be represented by Thunder's effect. Yes. So myself is as long as this is same, I could not find the effect of VP. What is the impact of the voltage at P? Because the impact of voltage at P, what it will do? Suppose the voltage at P is much more than the voltage at this or this. These two devices will go into the different operating system. Will go into the different operating system. Okay. So because I can say this is the VGS, or this is the VD of this device, VDS. And here the voltage is VDS. If it is a D1, so VDS1. If it is greater than or equal to this effective voltage, that is what? VTH minus VGS. This is the VGS minus VTH11. What is the VGS here? This is the, of course, VGS is nothing but V in 1 minus this voltage. So VGS1 is equal to V in 1 minus VP. So this impact is more generally, because if it is more, then this is more, then this condition will be changed. This is the what is the condition of this one? For the saturation. Saturation condition is what? Whose drain to source voltage should be greater than the VGS minus VTH. That is the condition. As long as this condition is true, the device is working on the saturation. If the condition is reversed, your device is working in what? Either cutoff or linear region or triode region. Simply you can say triode region. Okay, so in this condition, which one is more important means, if you elaborate this equation and substitute this one, then you can say remaining all things are same, but VP is different. So that's why I want to find the impact of VP on the what region of operation. So yes. So to find that impact, I want to find the Thevenin equivalent of this circuit. So this one source, this one more source, this is the P. So I can show this one. This is the what? Thevenin equivalent of one side, left hand side is the Thevenin's equivalent of right hand side. What is the Thevenin's equivalent circuit? What is the Thevenin's equivalent, Thevenin's theorem? So any linear bilateral network again contains a number of sources and impedances that they can be replaced by a voltage source, which is known as the VTH, and in series with the what impedance, that is the ZTH. Remaining all are replaced by their entering. That is the common. So whatever the network size, it may be from what is that one? Used to get to here. The length of the circuit may be. The entire thing you can replace with a single voltage source and use it with a single resistance. That is the Thevenin system. I don't bother about number of voltage source, number of resistance is all the things. I'm only, so my intention is to convert the entire circuit into the single voltage source instead with the single resistance. Got the point? So anyhow, I have the two branches. Okay, I'm talking about the P, node P. Okay, that is very important for me. So that one side is converted. Whatever the pins are there, one active source and load impedance. Okay, and VDD and VIN1. This is the one part, one side part. That entire thing I converted it to the one Thevenin equivalent circuit. That is the VTH1 in series with the RT1, VT1 and RT1. So another side, another branch, that is RD1, RD2, M2, okay, VDD and VIN2. This part, okay. So again, I converted into the another Thevenin equivalent like RT2 and the what VT2. Okay, so that is. Okay. If VT1 and VT2 changes by equal and opposite terms, and RT1 and RT2 are equal, then VP remains constant. Okay, this is 1 minute. So now, this is the one side, this is the other side. Okay, if VT1 and VT2 changes by an equal and opposite amount, and RT1 and RT2 are equal, then VP remains constant. Okay. Yeah, whenever both sides changes is same, then VP remains constant. Already I told you. This is valid if the changes are small enough that we can assume RT1 and RT2 is equal to RT2. So what is RT1? Thevenin's equivalent resistance. In the last class, I told you this RT1 is equal to 1 by GM1, and RT2 is equal to 1 by GM2. This is okay. This is the impedance of the. So this is the enough, small enough up to this condition is true. Okay. This perspective suggests that the So if the tail current source is not ideal, this is varied only up to this tail current source is not ideal. What is the tail current source? Ideal. Okay, if it's ideal, it can be open. Current source is open. So let us assume that V1 and V2 have equivalent values of VA and changed by delta V1 and delta V2 respectively in the figure picture. So this is the earlier we said this is the V0, V0. So this is the V1. Earlier it is a V in 1. This is the V in 2. Okay. And then it is a delta V in 1. Sorry, delta V in, and this is also delta V. So I can show you the circuit once again. This is. Got the point or not? So earlier this is V0, V0 is the initial voltage, and this is the V in 1, this is the V in 2. The change in V in 1 is delta V in, and this is also delta V in. Both are same. But now this is VA is my reference voltage, and V1 this is V2. This is the delta V1, this is the delta V2. Okay. So let us assume that the V1 and V2 have equivalent values of VA and change by the delta V1 and delta V2. So as shown in this picture. So the output currents therefore change by the GM delta V1, GM delta V2, sorry. Because earlier the two currents are same. Because of the change at V in 1 and V in 2, both are same. Now they are not both same because it is delta V1, this is delta V2. Both are different. Okay, so whenever input voltage is delta V1, current is GM times the change in current voltage, because GM is the sensitivity parameter of the device. Okay, so the current is whatever the input is multiplied with the GM. Okay, for M1, current is ID1 is equal to, what is that one? So GM1 into delta V1. Okay, for M2, ID2 is equal to GM2 into delta V2. If both the devices are same, then GM is same. GM1 is equal to GM2 is equal to GM. Okay, got my point or not? So this is the next one. That means next one is there is there is just some differences. The change in difference. Since I1 plus I2 is equal to I2, of course, both the one is the one branch current is I1, and the branch current is I2 is equal to I2, and have GM is equal to delta V1 plus GM delta V2 is equal to 0. GM that is equal to 0. So delta V1 is equal to minus delta V2. Suppose condition is, if both are, again if you assume that delta V1 and delta V2 are same but opposite. Then see, this is the V in 1 minus V1 is equal to V in 2 minus V2. Am I correct? So hence V0, earlier we said earlier condition, V0 plus delta V1. So delta V1. Okay, this is the minus. So VA plus delta V1. This is equal to V0 minus delta V1. Okay, so and minus VA plus delta V2. This is condition. I am taking the minus common here. So means these are about earlier things. Now the changes are, I am taking like this: VA plus delta V1, VA plus delta V2. Here from this. Okay, understood? Once again, I1 plus I2 is equal to I2. GM1 delta delta V1, GM delta. To 0, then it is equal to 0. Both are equal. If both are equal and opposite, both the currents are equal and opposite, then definitely this becomes 0. This is actually, we said that this is IT. IT is equal to 0. And one more thing is, in first one, V in 1 is my source, minus V1 is my difference. And the second device, V in 2 minus V2. These are the V1 and V2 are the changes at one side and another side. So that V in 1 minus V1 and V in 2 minus V2. And hence V0 plus delta V in Okay, so minus this is these equations, these two equations. Okay, so take this one picture. This is the plus v in 1 minus v in 1. Okay, so this is the original circuit, of course. From this, 2 delta v in 2 delta v in means take this one, this entire equation, this entire equation. Okay, then separate the terms. Okay, 2 delta v in. Okay, this is delta v in, and here is one more delta v in. So this minus delta v in comes this side, this becomes the plus delta v in, then it becomes the 2 delta v in. So is equal to, so this v naught bring this side, these terms are bring this side, then it becomes the delta v1 minus delta v2 is equal to 2 times the delta v1. So in other words, if v in 1 and v in 2 changes by plus delta v in and minus delta v in here, then v1 and v2 changes by the same value. The differential changes in the inputs is simply absorbed by v1 and v2. In fact, vp is equal to vp, this voltage is equal to v in 1 minus v1, and since v1 exhibits the same change as v in, vp does not change. If you take this one, why you got two times the delta v1 means? So again, I assume that v1 here and v1 both are same. Both are same here. Okay, v1 and v2 both are same. That's why again this condition is true. vp does not change. See, here is the above circuit. I can draw like this. This is grounded because of, let us say, does not change means I think you can say this is a constant, and you can say this is the ideal. Then this is the one branch, this one more branch. You can split like this. Now, from the small signal analysis of differential amplifiers, Vp experiences no change at node P as considered as ground. So even no change at P means you can say it's a ground or virtual ground. Ground or virtual ground. So whatever the voltage here, the same voltage is here, which means these two can be tied together. There is no impact of this fellow. So that you can say this Vp experience no change means at node P, this is a AC ground or virtual ground. And now the circuit can be decomposed into the two separate halves like this. This is the thing. So the say above circuit is divided like this. We can write Vx by Vn1 is equal to Vx by Vn1 because these two are separated now. You can write Vx by Vn1, and so Vy by Vn2 is equal to one is minus GMRD, one more is minus GMRD. Of course, it is minus GMRD. Both the inputs are same. So thus Vx minus Vy by 2 times, because this is 2 times. This is one is Vn1 minus one more is Vn minus Vn1. So total is 2 Vn1 is equal to minus Gm into R. So earlier, by using superposition theorem, whatever the thing we received, we derived it, we got the minus Gm into R. Now also we got the minus Gm. This is the off circuit method. So very simple to understand here. As long as Vp does not change because of the changes at the two sides, this is look like a ground. So that make this is ground and divide this and this into the two parts. And simply you can find the ratio of the voltages here and output to input voltage here and here. Then you can take the difference. So then you got this one. So earlier in the method 1, you got the same thing here also. So whatever the explanation I have given so far is to bring the conclusion of these figures. Of course, while I am explaining somewhat difficult you are facing, but now finally with the final conclusion, I think you are happy. This is the half circuit method. Earlier is superposition theorem. This is for what? This is for what? To find the gain when the inputs are changed by a small signal variation at the input.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay, sir.
Yes. So the half circuit concept now I am applying. So for this is the my question is, what happened if the two inputs are not fully differential? Again, my doubt is that. So this is my circuit, V1, V2. So now, suppose we can this circuit I can represent like this. See, so as pictures, okay, V1 and V2 can be rewritten. V1 is equal to V1 minus V2 by 2 plus V1 plus V2 by 2, and V2 is equal to V2 minus V1 by 2 plus V1 plus Vn by 2. These two terms are same in two cases. I want to find this and this. Okay, V1, V2 you can write like this in the half circuit method. So there are two terms. So one term is there. So with this, I can represent the circuit just like this. What are the terms are there? Four terms are there. Okay. What is that one? Vn1 by 2 and Vn2 by 2. The four terms in the two equations, two terms at one side and two terms at another side. So four terms at one side and four terms at another side. We can represent like this. One is plus Vn by 2, one more is plus Vn1 by 2, same thing of course, and plus Vn2 by 2 and minus Vn by 2. And this side plus Vn by 2, Vn2 by 2 and plus Vn2 by 2 and plus Vn by 1 by 2 and minus Vn by 2. This is one. This is represented from this term. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 terms and 4 terms. So that's why this side is 4 terms, this side is 4 terms.
Sir, ఒకసారి diagram చూపించండి. ప్రీవియస్ డయాగ్రామ్ అదే దీని తర్వాతది.
ఆ 4 టైమ్స్ వేస్తాను అంతే. ఇటువైపు ఇన్పుట్స్ కింద.
ఏమైనా పొలారిటీస్ చేంజ్ ఉందా?
ఇగోండి ఈక్వేషన్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, ఈ ఈక్వేషన్స్. దిస్ టర్మ్స్ ఆర్ సేమ్. Vn1 minus Vn2, Vn2 minus Vn1.
Okay, sir.
Remember that.
Okay, sir.
Now we can write like this. So Vn1 minus Vn2 by 2, Vn1 plus Vn2 plus 2. Okay, this is also different. Okay, now you can these two are grounded. Okay, so I think this term and this term is same common, so that I can draw like this. Yes, same, since it's common, you can draw here. So Vn1 plus Vn2 by 2. That's it. This is the half circuit method.
Okay.
Yeah, finally, this is. Since the second term is common for both the inputs, obtain the equivalent circuit B. Okay, recognize that the circuit sends a combination of the differential input and common mode variations. So therefore, this picture, the effect of each type of the input can be computed by the superposition with the half circuit concept applied to the differential mode variation. This is
previous. Okay.
So there are so many pictures. Yes, here first picture. Then with these equations, this is the second picture. This is third and fourth. Then this is you can do like this.
Sir, previous slide. Sorry, previous slide. Adi okka second.
So I will stop here. The next concept is, with this using of this half circuit concept, I want to explain differential pair with mass loss. This is the last topic of differential amplifiers. Okay.
Okay, sir.
By using of this concept, I want to
వాయిస్ కట్ అయిపోతుంది సార్.
మేడం మేడం రోజా మేడం
మేడం ఉన్నారో లేరో మేడం?
క్లాస్ అయిపోయిందా?
అంటే సార్ దగ్గర సిగ్నల్ డ్రాప్ ఉందంట, నేను క్లోజ్ చేస్తున్నానమ్మా మీటింగ్.
సరే మేడం. అదే నాకు సిగ్నల్ ప్రాబ్లం ఉంది.
లేదు లేదు, సార్ కి సిగ్నల్ బ్రేక్. ఓకే
ఓకే మేడం. ఓకే థ్యాంక్ యూ.
ఓకే నాన్న.